Welcome back, everybody, to the Baltimore Orioles franchise. We are here in episode 4, getting y'all started off fairly quickly with a player lock game down here in AAA with the Norfolk Tides. You see Mike Bauman is on the mound for us, and we will be taking over Franchy Cordero. We have a couple players that are struggling in the majors, Heston Kjerstad and Jordan Westberg. They aren't getting a lot of playing time, so I want to hop down here in the minors to see if maybe there's a couple guys that, as we missed that rob of the home run, but see if there's a couple guys down here that can make the jump up to the major leagues. And Franchy Cordero, he's one of the guys that is on that bubble. He's hitting fairly well in the minors right now. He's hitting 4th for us down here at AAA. And he has a 271 batting average right now down here. So I like to see what he can bring to the table. Maybe we get Kjerstad down in the minors to get him some everyday at-bats. Maybe he can get a lot more playing time and maybe make the jump to the majors next year or maybe later in the year this year. And Franchy Cordero sits on that low fastball, and he is out. But we get another chance here down in the bottom of the third, down 4-0 to the Durham Bulls. Oh, and I was way out in front of that curveball. Franchy Cordero in his last 3 games has 4 RBIs. Comes in with the bases juiced, actually. Holy. 1-2 count now for Cordero. That is hit hard into center field, but the center fielder catches it for the end of the third. And we get another chance down here, 9-2 in the bottom of the 5th. Nobody on base this time.
That's a ball.
It's unfortunate we couldn't come through with a hit last time, but looking to get some redemption here. Full count here for Franchy Cordero. All he's seen has been fastballs so far. And I was sitting on some off speed thinking he might have come with a curveball. And that's the third out, or the second out of the bottom of the 5th. And down 10-3 here in the bottom of the 7th. Looks like this might be one of our last chances to get a hit with Cordero. I haven't been hitting very well with him so far this game. But I'm still thinking that I'd like to maybe bring him up so that Kjerstad can get some at-bats down here in the minor leagues. Up his ratings, and don't want him to stagnate up there at the major leagues. Cordero gets some good wood on it, and that falls in the gap for a single. So we don't go hitless today. It's always good to see. And we're going to get a 5th plate appearance here in this game. Bottom of the 9th, 1 on, down by 7. 2 outs. Doesn't like there's going to be any fireworks here at home, but maybe get a 2-for-5 day, and that will not happen. As it's caught by Bruhan, and the Bulls win. Unfortunate start in this episode, but Cordero, 1-for-5, drops his average down to 268. But I think that he is still someone that I'm looking to bring up. Nomar Mazara went 0-for-4 this game, but we might get a look at him later in the episode to see if he is someone that I'd like to bring up as well. But we're now back here, and I just want to sim through some of these games as we have Adam Hall, who is no longer injured. And we get started with a series here in Tampa Bay, losing the first game, the second, and we get swept by the Rays. And I want to jump in here with a AA player lock to get a look at someone who I highlighted last game who is having an amazing season so far, and that is Toby Welk. In 89 at-bats, he's hitting .371 with 4 RBIs. I don't think he's someone that we would bring up to the Major League roster, but he's definitely someone that I could see making a jump into AAA. And I know I touched on it with the comment that I made on my last video, but this series going forward is going to be a little bit different from the last couple episodes. I want to split this one episode into 2 parts. So our first part will be a little bit of player locks, kind of talking about the team, getting a look at some of our prospects and things like that. And then the second episode will be our full game in the majors, and then I'll probably also talk about some of our prospects that we have going into the draft, because I believe our next episode will be the draft. Maybe the next episode after that. I can't really remember when exactly it is, but I do want to highlight some of those players before we get into the draft so that I can get some of your input on who y'all think that we should go after, whether that's, you know, a starting pitcher, a relief pitcher, which is probably 2 of our biggest needs, or some of the position players who are higher up in the draft rankings. And Toby Welk is a D potential, but he's playing out of his mind here at AA. I don't know if we would get a chance for his potential to go up, but he is 25 years old. He could play the corner infield and corner outfield spots. He has the speed to actually play in center field, so we'll have to see if he can play well enough to get a jump up to AAA. As he hits this into center, and that falls in for a hit. Toby Welk is on board with a single. And we get a little bit of a fielding chance to see what he has out here. Don't think he'll be able to show off his arm at all, but see if he has some range. And he made a good play on the ball. I care a lot less about the fielding attributes than I do the hitting, because anybody can pretty much field in the majors. It's not going to be a big detriment. Oh, and just missed on that curveball just early. But we have Jackson Holliday on first, looking to drive him in, or at least advance the runner with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. And he strikes out. Got me swinging on that inside fastball. Just couldn't hold off. And now he steps in the top of the 6th. 1 for 2 on the day. Cole Henry on the mound at 57 pitches. Here is 58. And it's a ball. Toby Welk, it says, is first on the Bay Sox in hits. So that's another reason why he's playing out of his mind and can definitely make a jump up to AAA as that gets past the runner. Oh, how do I do this? R2 advance. Looks like that could have been a triple, but it's only going to end up being a double. He has 70 speed. Let's see if he can steal third. How about that? He takes off in the dirt. And he's safe at third with no slide. And we're here in the top of the 8th with our 4th chance of the day. Toby Welk is already 2 for 3. I'm definitely thinking that we want to move him up to the AAA roster, but I'm not sure who to replace him with. But I don't want to make any big changes until after the All-Star break. And we pop that up to first base. So I forgot to check the after game stats, but Toby Welk went 2 for 4, I believe, with a run scored and a stolen base. So pretty good game for him. And we have the Mets interested in offering us a trade. Joey Lucchesi for Ryan McKenna. And I think they offered this trade last game, but I wasn't really interested in making it. And I still don't think that I'm interested in making it. But we do have a need at left-handed pitcher. Now that need is in the bullpen. But you guys let me know if you think that this is a trade that I should make, or maybe you think that I should go after someone else. But we'll get a look at the transaction log, and there is no one on the waiver wire right now. We also have the trading block, which we could maybe go and make a move for another relief pitcher. We had the Dodgers offer us Yency Almonte last episode, but he's a right-handed relief pitcher. And then Jonathan Losiga, if y'all want to tell me how to pronounce that. And then Reynaldo Lopez is a righty. Phil Maton's a righty. Castillo's a righty. Barria is a righty. Jorge Alcala is a righty. So not a lot of lefties. Joely Rodriguez, who we saw last episode playing for the Red Sox, he could be someone who make a move for. He has a 0 ERA and a 1.11 whip as 66 overall, so he's someone that we could look to make a move for. But you guys let me know what y'all think I should do as we get closer and closer to the trade deadline. I don't think we're going to be making any big moves because I don't think we're kind of on the cusp of being a contender. But right now we are 4th in our division, 6 games behind the Rays at 18-19, and we'll just continue simming. And I think I want to get into another AAA game as we see Joey Ortiz is no longer injured. That is great because that is a player that I definitely wanted to look at. He is a shortstop, but he got injured early in the season. Only 9 at-bats, 556 average, and 1 steal. So I think we'll jump into a player lock game with Joey Ortiz. So we're here in another game at AAA, the Norfolk Tides, going against the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp with Max Meyer on the mound, and Joey Ortiz is batting second. Top of the first, no outs or 1 out, and the main man Joey Ortiz is in the batter's box. His last game about 15 days ago, he went 3 for 4, and he works this one into a 2-2 count. And strikes out on 2-2 on another slider out of the zone. And a fielding opportunity for Ortiz here at shortstop. No outs, a player on first, and we are going to try and turn this double play behind the back. What a great job by Joey Ortiz with a little bit of flash on it. That was absolutely beautiful. Behind the back, 6-4-3 double play. And after that amazing play, comes out in the top of the third with a runner in scoring position. No outs. Looking to drive that runner in. And a 2-2 count now for Joey Ortiz, who has 2 good takes and 2 bad swings. And struck out on the high and inside slider. I just couldn't catch up to that one. And here in the top of the 5th, Joey Ortiz again for his 3rd at-bat with 2 on, a runner on first and second. Looking to drive one of those in and get out of this tie ball game. I cannot just cannot stay away from that high fastball. 1-1 count for Joey Ortiz. That is hit into center. Center fielder under it, and the person at second will not tag up. And he'll get another chance here in the 7th with a runner on first going against a left-handed pitcher in Andrew Nardi. That is blooped into center, and it does not get down for a hit. It's the first out of the 7th, and that might have been it for Joey Ortiz's day. But it's not, as we get one more chance. He's 0 for 4, looking to at least get a hit. Top of the 9th, up by 1. 1 out, nobody on. And way out in front of that slider. And maybe that high batting average was just a product of less than 10 at-bats, as it is now 0-2. And got me swinging at the sinker on the inside, and that will do it for Joey Ortiz's day. And we have defeated the Jumbo Shrimp. But Joey Ortiz 0 for 4 on the day. We had a few hits. Cordero, who I hit okay with earlier in the episode, 1 for 3. Cowser, the center fielder, went 2 for 4. Maybe he's somebody that can get a call up to the Major League roster. He's hitting .294 on the season so far. Mazzaro, 1 for 3. Stowers 2 for 4. So not a bad day at the plate for everyone except Ortiz and Cullen. And there he is, Mr. Bruce Zimmerman. 8 starts down in AAA with a 2.85 ERA in 47.1 innings. 1.27 whip and a 4-3 record. And we'll see if he can have a pretty good game today. He is a lefty, so maybe he's actually somebody that we can bring into our bullpen to fill that lefty spot. But you guys let me know what y'all think as he gets that strike call high. And strikes out his first batter on the change, Lorenzo Cedrola. Sit on down. That is hit, but a foul ball. Comebacker. I don't know why he didn't throw it, but it took too long, and that is going to be an error for Zimmerman. That was definitely my fault as he faces Daniel Vogelbach right now. And struck him out on a slider way out of the zone. 2 strikeouts so far for Bruce Zimmerman. And here we see him against DJ Stewart. And throw down to second, and he got him. And that is Basalo with the throw down to second. Great job by him. And we're out of here the first. No runs scored in that first inning, and we're here in the top of the second. Hit deep into right field, but he's under it for the first out. And we know pitching and hitting and all that in AAA is a little bit easier in the majors, but still, if they're playing well in AAA, they can still come up to the big league club and make a difference. As he gets a pop-up to the first baseman for the second out of the inning. And Thomas Nido steps in. And almost gets him on 3 straight pitches, but that changeup is fouled off, so we'll give him one on the inside lower corner, and he swings through it for the last out of the inning. Top of the third, facing the 7th batter, Jonathan Arauz. And gets him swinging on the changeup low. For the 8th batter now, Jalen Davis. Hit hard into left field for the first hit of the game for Syracuse. Here in the top of the third with 1 out. And that brings in the number 9 hitter, Ronnie Mauricio. And he hits a line drive up the middle. And he's rounding second, going to third. And he is in safely. So 2 straight hits off of Bruce Zimmerman here in the top of the third with an out. And that takes us back up to the top of the order with Lorenzo Cedrola. Is that Cedrola? Kedrola? Not sure about that. But he gets him on the high and inside fastball. Blue says he went. And that's the second out of the inning. See if Zimmerman can pitch out of this pickle that he seems to have himself into with 2 runners in scoring position. And that is popped up to right field, and looks like that's going to be third out of the inning, and no damage here in the third. Bruce Zimmerman is fired up. See if he can get some run support. And he gets at least 1. So it comes out now facing Daniel Vogelbach. Ooh, You're not going to get caught up to the majors with a swing like that. Oh, and I hit him. And now we're looking for the double play. Vogelback is not looking to steal, and that is an out into left field. That should definitely have been a strike. Hard hit in the right field for a single. 1 out, 2 on. One out, 2 on, and that is hit deep into left field. And at the track is caught. Runners can't advance. And that is the second out of the inning. And gets him swinging in the dirt at the changeup for the third out of the 4th inning. And we get some run support in the bottom of the 4th. Now up 4-0 against the Mets. He's thrown 52 pitches so far, and here is 53. And a hard hit into left field for a base hit by Jalen Davis. Soft roller on the ground to third. Gets the man at 2. And he's safe at first. Can't pull the double play. We're looking for another double play here in the top of the 5th. That is hit into center field. And routine out for the second out of the 5th. And another pop up to left field. Can they get to it? And caught by the shortstop, Joey Ortiz. And Zimmerman still in the 6th. Pitch 62 coming up to Daniel Vogelback. And that is crushed, but foul. Hit a little bit softer, and this one into center field. And that is another routine out. 3-0 count to DJ Stewart. Just looking to get something in the zone, and he walks him. So 1 out with a man on. Here's Mark Vientos. And hit hard on a line to left field, and that gets over the head of the left fielder. Ball comes in, and all runners are safe. He doesn't score a run, but he gets a double and moves the other runner up to third. And he misses that one, but play at first has him, and the Mets score a run. And now they have 2 outs. Soft roller to third. Throw to first in time, and that is the end of the 6th. And Zimmerman comes out to in the 7th to face Jalen Davis. First player to get a hit off of him in this game. Hit softly into right field, and the right fielder has it for the first out of the 7th. Looks like Zimmerman might be getting a bit tired as some of these pitchers are starting to get erratic, and that is hit into left field, and that'll get down for at least 2 bases. And they don't replace him. And strikes Cedrola out on 3 pitches. Great job by Zimmerman. And here is William Lugo, the number 2 batter. And got him with a high curve that definitely missed where I wanted to throw it, but ends the 7th after only giving up a 1 run so far in this game. We'll see if he makes it into the 8th, and he does not. So it looks like Logan Gillespie came in to relieve him. And then Austin Voth in the 9th, and We actually end up losing that game from our bullpen. You hate to see that, but looking at some of our stats, Diaz went 0 for 3. Maybe he might need to be dropped down to Double-A. Looks like we had good games out of Cullen and McKenna. Cordero, who we thought about maybe moving up, 1 for 5, drops his average down to 253. Cowers and Ortiz hitting 282. We get home runs out of Basallo and Stowers. But Zimmerman goes 7 innings with 8 strikeouts, 1 earned run, and Gillespie with .1 innings and 3 earned runs. So he's not getting a call-up anytime soon, but Voth came in and kind of helped him out of that jam with 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts, and 1.2 innings. But we'll keep simulating. And we end up taking 1 away from Toronto. And then we have a series against the Yankees. Wow, it's like Adam Frazier will be out for 1 to 2 weeks, so we'll keep him active. Maybe he will come back a little bit sooner. But against the Yankees, we go 1-2. So we've changed it up. Against righties, we will have Profar as second base, and Kjerstad will be our DH, so he can get at least some at-bats before the All-Star break to see if he needs to be sent down to AAA to finish out the season. And then against the lefties, James McCann is our DH, and he is hitting very well, 283 on the season. So I kept him at DH, and we will let Jordan Westberg play second. He does have second base listed as his secondary position, so I'm comfortable enough keeping him there. And if he doesn't perform whenever Adam Frazier comes back, then he will most likely be a candidate to be sent down. But I don't know who we would bring up in his stead. But I'll run through some of those players that we are thinking about at the end of this episode, as we have a series here against Texas, and the Dodgers are interested with the trade. Yency Almonte once again, this time for Franchy Cordero. You guys let me know if y'all think I should make this trade. I don't think, since he's a righty. I'm not really looking forward to making that trade. We kind of need lefty bullpen help. But do they have anyone who may be a lefty that we could try and go and get? Maybe Alex Vesia. That could be someone that we want to try and bring in. What about Caleb Ferguson? Caleb Ferguson is a very good pitcher. He could definitely be somebody that we bring in for our lefty bullpen spot. But I'm not sure that they would give us Caleb Ferguson for Franchy Cordero. We might have to do a little bit more. But y'all let me know in the comments if y'all would like me to go after a relief pitcher, maybe in before the trade deadline. And we are back here in Double-A, getting a look at Jackson Holiday before we end this episode. And let me know if there's anyone else you guys would like to see. Maybe in the next episode, get a look at maybe some of these pitchers, some of these other batters, someone in Double-A or Triple-A that we think could have a spot on this team later in the season or later in the series. And there he is, stepping in with a 291 average, a lot better than at the end of the first episode. I think he was hitting like 243 or so. A man on first, 1 out. And swings at the first curveball. And Holiday is actually first in the All-Star voting at shortstop. So it looks like he's going to be a Double-A All-Star as long as he keeps this up. And I think the next episode will be episode 4.5. Well, where I will struck out on the fastball look, and I actually forgot the count. But next episode is going to be a little half episode. We are going to run through maybe a couple more weeks, get a look at a full game at the major league level, as Holiday is there to turn 2. But we'll get a full game at the majors. I think we want to get into a game at home. I still haven't decided what series that will be, who we will be playing, but I like to kind of see what we have against a fairly good team, as Holiday pops that up on the first pitch. But we're here in the top of the 6th. No runners on, no outs. Holiday is 0 for 2 and grounds it up the middle. Can he run out the single? And cannot. So maybe I just can't hit very well with Jackson Holiday. I don't know what the problem is with me and him. We'll get one more chance at it. Here in the top of the 8th, down by 4 with 2 outs. Looks like the starter is still in the game. And that one is crushed. Holy cow, Jackson Holiday off the stand up to cancer board. And that's the first home run that I have hit with Jackson Holiday. 371 feet with a 100-mile-per-hour exit velo. Well, if you're only going to get one hit with him, may as well be a home run as we lose that game to the Rubber Ducks. But Holiday went 1 for 4 with a 2-run RBI, average at 290 on the day. Looks like he was the only runs of the game. And as we sim through the rest of this month, that is going to do it here in this episode. We went 9-19 in the month of May. Not a very good month for us as we drop our record down to a 25-31 and last in the AL East. 6 games behind of the Yankees, Rays, and Blue Jays. And looking at the wild card, we are 5 games behind in that. So it's not looking great for us, but at our team rankings, we're not terrible. We're 4th in defense, 19th in speed. Just want to give you guys a quick look at some of these statistics for our players. As some of these guys' averages drop down, and Rutschman has actually gone up, as is Mountcastle with the 275, McCann 273. Rutschman leads the team with on-base percentage and slugging. I wonder what Westberg is looking at. He is hitting a 079. Absolutely horrendous. And Kjerstad is at a 179. So I'm thinking after this episode, we are going to have to think about who we want to replace them with at AAA. We have Colton Cowser in center field hitting 295. He could be somebody that we bring up. Cullen 292. Cordero's hitting 263. So I think right now our best bet is to think about bringing up Franchy Cordero to replace Kjerstad, and then maybe we bring up Cesar Prieto to replace Westberg, just because I don't want those 2 players to stagnate here in the MLB, and I also don't want them to use up their MLB service time when they could quite possibly win Rookie of the Year. But maybe give them a couple at bats there in the minors, see what they have. And then also here at AA, we have a player that could make a jump. Maybe Toby Welk gets a move up to the major league roster to see what he has. He's won't be an everyday starter. His potential looks like it went up, because he was a D potential to start the series, and now he's a C potential. So I wonder if he was like 69 and now I bumped it up to a 70. But Toby Welk is somebody who is surprising me a lot here in AA. Mark Colosveri, he is hitting very well, but he's a catcher with no other secondary position. Jackson Holiday, I think I'd like for him to stay down at AA at least until after the All-Star break, and then we could think about moving him up to AAA. Then move someone down. Max Wagner at third base. 21-year-old with C potential. A lot of players hitting very well here in the minors at AA. And we have Taron Vaver, who's actually on a hot streak now here at AAA. He could be somebody who gets called back up to the major league roster. Maybe he replaces Westberg for our 4th or 5th utility infielder. But you guys let me know what you think, and I will see you next time as we look to play one of these games. I don't want to play Kansas City. Maybe we will get into a game here against Toronto in the middle of the month. They're 31-25, and we'll see what they bring to the table. See if we can at least take one of these games away from them. So Thanks for watching. Leave your feedback down in the comments. Like the video if you are enjoying the new format. You know, we kind of get through some of our prospects to begin with in this full episode, and subscribe to the channel to see more of this series. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.